Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time once again to ponder the question, which unit should I buy with my coins? Some of you are probably wondering that, because we have been sitting on this banner for about a week now. The Dokkan Festival Gohan and the banner unit Garlic Jr. have been around for a little bit, and if you did summon or you didn't summon, well, you're probably done now, because with all the stuff that's on the horizon, you probably want to be saving up your stones, but that doesn't necessarily factor in with your coins. So if you're someone who wants to potentially buy a unit with your coins and you're still on the fence, hopefully this video can help you out. If you guys don't know how it works, basically how it works is you got the headliner unit on a banner, you've got the sideline unit, or aka the banner unit, and then you've got the featured SSRs, all Dokkan Festival units that are returning on the banner to add more value. Now there's a cool update in Dokkan where you get coins for your summons. So basically a small return on investment with each summon that you do. And with those coins, you can use about 400 to 500 and buy a unit that you desire in the coin shop right here. And we've got 5 units to choose from. So I'm going to give you my thoughts, my opinions, my views on these 5 units. Feel free to let me know if you agree or disagree. And then at the end, I'm also going to talk about one other thing that could be useful when considering buying a unit to begin with. So we'll start by jumping over to the Dokkan Wiki. And we got the 5 units right here. JP got Turles, Global got Blue Kaioken. So we'll just start from, I don't even know what the ordering is. Okay, so I got Gohan here. So I've got the future Gohan. This guy's a hybrid Saiyan's Bond of Disciple. Key +3, 170%, 130% defense. He's basically a defensive unit at first, with the ability to reduce damage received by 58% when HP is around half. He supports Bond of Master and Disciple. And then when he transforms, you have to have Trunks on the team to do that. And in my personal experience, that was kind of an annoying thing because there would be certain teams that I'd want to run, like maybe Goku's family or maybe, something Connected Hopes, something like that, where I didn't necessarily have a Trunks on the team. I just didn't want to bring the Trunks because I wanted to try other units. So when those types of situations come up, this guy does lose value because now he can't transform. He doesn't get to have the permanent stacking ability while also having permanent damage reduction. But when he does transform, this is what he does. Attack stacker, reduces damage received, still supports Bond of Master and Disciple. However, the drawback is that his additional super attack will happen only when fighting an androids category enemy, which in my experience doesn't happen too often. You just don't have too many targets in various events, especially the ones that you are more likely to repeat, where you would actually get this last part of his passive. You're probably running, if you're running this guy, you're probably going to be running some sort of Super Battle Road where you might have the occasional android in the list of enemies, but it's not going to be an entirely android-based thing, not too often. So this guy's probably the lowest on the value scale, in my opinion, in terms of all of these units, but feel free to let me know what you think. Next up, we got the Fusion Android 13. This guy, I will tell you, some of the most fun I've ever had playing Dokkan was using this guy. Because he is the Goku killer. All he does is kills Goku. That's all he does. Especially when he transforms. When he transforms, I mean, that's why you bring him. You bring him so that he can go full Blanca and absolutely annihilate Goku any which way possible. This guy is an android's target Goku category lead. Now, as far as the leader skill goes, there are a ton of android category leads, but there aren't that many target Goku leads. So let's check that out real quick. Yeah, we got a bunch of leaders right here for androids, so that kind of lessens his value. A lot of units though, a lot of units to choose from, so androids is a very healthy category. And if you look at target Goku, they're all basically androids and like Frieza, so you might as well just run androids. It doesn't really matter. Like, he is the only lead for target Goku, sure, but you're never going to use target Goku as a category. But if you do, I will say I did have a lot of fun running a full target Goku team against the legendary Goku man, because if you have double Fusion Android 13s, attacks guaranteed to hit, so that eliminates Goku's dodge, disables enemy guard, and performs a critical hit. That's just not fair. That's mean. It's very mean. But if you're not even fighting the Goku, you still have the ability to stun enemies. And even if you don't transform, you can still stun with the same medium chance. He also supports androids, which is also... This is a growing trend, which I like to see with Dokkan Festival leads. They not only lead the category, but they also support it. So this is a very nice thing to have. So he's a great unit. He's very convenient when you can get him to transform and when you're fighting Goku, which is probably most of the time, because think about it. This is a Dragon Ball game most things in Dragon Ball are going to involve Goku, so more often than not, you will find yourself using this guy's full passive more so than Gohan's full passive. And for that reason, I'm going to put this guy second above, well, not second, but I guess second to last above the future Gohan. Up next, we've got the Blue Kaioken Goku, probably the next one on that priority list because he offers a lot offensively, not much defensively, but he gives you a very unique situation that you don't have too often, and it can bail you out of a lot of situations. Now, I will say this guy has been around recently because he was around during the 6-year anniversary. So if you guys were playing the game during that time, hopefully you were, because that was one of the best celebrations ever, you might have already got your hands on this guy. So if you are looking into buying this unit, consider what you're going to be getting. Pure offense, stats unbelievable with Reps Universe 7 and Universe Survival Saga. Possibly an EZA coming up on JP, which could mean, if that's going to happen on JP, obviously Global's going to get the EZA too later on down the road. So we'll have to keep our eyes peeled for that because people are kind of hoping at the moment on JP for the Blue Kaioken to get an EZA after the Kale and Caulifla Part 1 or something like that. So we'll see what happens. But the very unique ability that you have with this guy is to do extremely massive damage, lethal damage, that could end rounds in one hit. Causes ultimate damage and raises allies' attack by 30% for one turn. So this is the ability in question. Basically, over the span of a long-form event where you're greatly raising your attack and also getting stronger with each hit that you receive, you're going to be stacking so much attack power that by the time you get to the end of a Legendary Goku event, you could OTK the final form of Goku with a critical hit on your active skill. Or if you've been stacking long enough, man, you could even kill him with just a regular hit. It's been done. People have done it. So it is definitely something that can bail you out of a very, very tight spot, which is why this unit is one of the more favorable units when it comes to the Legendary Goku event, in spite of his defensive liabilities. Now, if you already have the guy, maybe it's not worth picking him up, or maybe it is because now this would give you that one dupe that you need to give him extra additional or extra critical. Something to think about. A lot of upside for this guy, but at the cost of defense. You're going to have to be very wary of his defense when you bring him on events. Blue Kaioken. Up next, we've got Piccolo. I made a promise to myself not to use Piccolo in the Cell voice for one full video, and it's going to be very difficult to use the word Piccolo without saying that. I'm getting a headache by just saying Piccolo over and over and over without using the words, Piccolo. Okay. Piccolo's and Namekians and Worthy Rivals lead. Not too important categories, really, unless you really care about Namekians. But I will say, if you run double Piccolo on a team, you are totally taken care of. One of the most user-friendly units in the entire game. He heals you with 77% or less. He'll give you 7% back. Defensive all-star. And he foresees enemies' super attack. 3 units, or 3 abilities in a unit that is definitely user-friendly, beginner-friendly, extremely convenient. And I have had some of my most easy, least stressful runs on any event by having double Piccolo on these rotations. It's very, very fun to run, knowing exactly what you're going to be getting hit with. As far as his active skill goes, I literally can't give much on it because I never use it. I actually love Piccolo just as this, a very simple, calming presence. His savvy veteran leadership is all I need. I don't actually need him to do anything on the offensive lines. So I've literally never used this once. Seriously, not once. Maybe not even when I first summoned him. Actually, maybe once. But after that, I've never used it again because I don't care about it. So this guy, simply for the fact that he can be a reliable presence on any long-form event, any endgame content, makes him a must-have, in my opinion. But maybe not for you. His categories are a little bit obscure because you don't have some of the, some of the mainstay categories. You got Bond of Master and Disciple, Final Trump Card's a good one. Battle of Wits is a good one. Android Cell Saga. Gifted Warriors is also nice, but then the rest of them are pretty obscure. So he's not as accessible category-wise, but what he does, it's very, very nice. And lastly, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. This guy is so strong, he rivals LRs. In fact, when he first dropped, there was a whole thing about not even summoning for LR Judit because you got this guy. Bring him. They both basically have the same type of stats here. Attack and defense plus 200%. Greatly raises attack and defense, cause immense damage. This guy is very strong. A singular attack force that can obliterate entire hordes of enemies. He's got the counter ability. Attacks effective against all types for 8 turns. His active skill nerfs the enemies like a Super Battle Road type item. So he has so many uses in spite of the fact that his categories are a little bit obscure. But if you have been playing Dokkan recently, you probably have been getting some giant A power units. We got the Easy A recently for the 3 giant A power units. Shadow Dragon Saga, not so much right now, but they are set to explode at some point with a massive, massive boom in units. And you can bet that this guy will be at the forefront at those top tier teams with Shadow Dragon Saga. I cannot wait. Maybe it's 7-year anniversary that we get the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta LR. Who knows? Maybe that could be the time. So this guy is extremely good and a must-have. And out of all of them, he would be the must-have in the group. Now, of course, the usual criteria that I like to mention. How many copies of the unit do you have? Do you think the unit is going to be worth it given what's on the horizon? And the last thing is, do you like the unit? Now, as far as overlap is concerned, there isn't much risk for an overlap right now, because if we look back at some of the older banners, there wasn't anything there that indicated that these guys were going to be around a lot. Because if we looked at the Videl banner, 350 million downloads and all that, the only overlap that we had was way back during the 6th anniversary, which isn't even that far back, Blue Kaioken Goku. So like I mentioned, Universe 7, that was the whole theme of the 6th anniversary. If you were around for that, you probably already have him, or another lead, so you maybe don't need him as much. But other than that, not much overlap. And then if we look ahead at some of the banners that are going to be dropping for Global in the future, because JP just got them, we can see if there's going to be any potential overlap there. These banners are not going to be exactly the same for Global, because they can tweak a few here and there, but you have some idea, right? So this is the Gogeta banner. You got Paikon Janemba, 2 units that I'm looking forward to. You got the Gifted Warriors lead with the kids, Blue Dudes, Gotenks, the Super Gogeta, regular Gogeta. So those guys are going to be showing up. Then one of the most anticipated Dokkan festivals for Global, Super Vegeta. Broly is coming back. Broly is also a destroyer of epic proportions. He can just single-handedly take on like any event. He's so strong. Bojack is basically a Cooler clone, so if you like Cooler, Bojack is also going to be great. Beerus is good. This transforming Vegeta will also be getting an Easy A at some point down the road. He'll be a monster. And then, of course, KFC. I'm so used to saying that. Kalen Caulifla. I'm thinking about the LR unit. Kalen Caulifla just dropped on JP. There, they got Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Blue Kaioken. So that's like the first real moment of overlap when it comes to looking ahead at some of these units that you might potentially be spending your coins on. Do you even want to be spending your coins to begin with? Because as I mentioned, with all of these units coming up and all of their banners coming up, maybe you want to save for Broly. Maybe you want to save for Videl. I don't know. Depends on, what you're looking for. So it could even be worth not spending at all, because if you're a low spender on this game, it takes a long time to gather these coins. Just because you have the option to buy them doesn't necessarily mean you have to. So maybe you might want to consider just completely dialing it back for this entire celebration. Play the game daily, farm up those links, prepare for what's coming up, but just save your coins as well as your stones. Little food for thought there. So those are my takes, my little hot tips when it comes to these units and the coin shop, whether or not you should buy them. I'm personally not buying a single one. I have been trying to buy some of them recently because I've just had so much, like 6,000 coins. I'm trying to use them, especially since now that there's a same name update, you can actually run units with different names, secondary names on the same team. Like, for example, I'm working on a second Piccolo right now. But yeah, for those of you who just don't want to summon at all or don't want to spend, I don't blame you. This could be that cooldown period that you have been sorely needing on Dokkan. So have fun. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on these units. Which one is a must buy if you don't have any of them? And if you had the option to, would you buy now or would you save for an upcoming banner? If so, which one? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it! Thanks again, stay tuned, and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.